If this is your very first time embroidering, I'm going to just show you some super basics on how to get your fabric into your hoop. I recommend that you take some time and just stitch out some of the built-in stitches that you have for embroidery designs. Some of them are going to be very short and easy. Some will have some thread color changes. And you know what? The more you stitch, the more comfortable you'll be with your embroidery machine. So first off, you'll notice a couple things about your hoop. Number one, there's a bracket off here to the left side on the outer part of the hoop. That's going to end up attaching to this embroidery arm. So when we go ahead and open these hoops apart, go ahead and open the little latch at the bottom. This will always be at the bottom right corner. And you'll also be able to notice one other thing to look for is that you'll be able to read the 240 by 150. That's the size this hoop will embroider, and that will always be at the bottom. So if you got things kind of twisted all around, you're looking for the bracket to be on the left, the clip or opening to be on the bottom right, and the inner hoop so you can read those numbers. Next, we have a whole video on stabilizer. You can link to it right over here. But what you're going to see me use at all times, if I'm just working with some cotton fabric, is 2 layers of a tearaway stabilizer. If you can't remember if it's a tearaway or a cutaway, just rip the corner. If it rips, then it's tearaway. The other thing that I like to use is a little spray adhesive. This one is Mettler's Web Bond. It's nice because it tends to not have so much overspray and get all over your machine, tables, and things. 505 spray is another good one. I'm realizing my can is actually almost empty, so I don't think we're going to get much spray today. Oh, probably the last little bit. We'll have to go get some more of that. And notice that I sprayed my stabilizer. It got a little out. It's like a Post-it note. So now when I go to hoop this, my fabric is not going to stretch. See how it's kind of attached to my stabilizer? It doesn't have any stretch in the bias, so you can tell that it's actually holding. And then sometimes, since there is 2 layers of stabilizer, I'll go ahead and give that layer in between. Oh yeah, that's the end of it. But I got enough to be able to show you. All right, sounds good. Now, if you are going to actually need something that's perfectly lined up, go ahead and take a fabric marker and draw a perfect perpendicular line. And on the hoops, you can actually see there are lines where the center will be. Now, you don't have to get it right in the center. You just need to get it so it's parallel or perpendicular to those lines. So there's little marks here and here, and there's marks in the center if you really need to get it perfectly where you need it to be. So I would set that down on my lines, and then I can pick it up and then move it. But I know for one fact, this hoop has not been loosened up because it's brand new. I'm going to loosen up this screw, loosen. This clip is open. And then the next thing I'm going to do is actually stand up. When I stand up to hoop, and then you have a little bit easier downward force. I'm going to put the top part of the hoop in first. There we go. And this takes practice. Don't feel like if it feels awkward on the first time that you'll never get it. It does get easier. And if it's really hard to hoop, just open up that screw a little bit more. And actually, I'm going to do just that, a little bit more open on that corner. Then it's going to fit just nicely down. It should be very loose right now, because what I want you to do next is actually tighten that little clip. This is what they call a quick release. So if you're going to embroider on things that are the same fabric and same stabilizer over and over, all you have to do is get this preset. When you're done with the first one, you're going to unclip it, put your next one in and clip it, and not have to do so much loosening and tightening of the screw. So it really is nice that once you kind of get it set, you can get in and out of a hoop really fast and easy. The next thing, so I'm tightening this as far as I can go. Remember, this has been closed, so the latch has been closed. The last thing is if you listen, you can hear the hoop scratching on the work surface. So this is what I like to do. Take your thumbs on the inside of the hoop at the corner and just push it a little past flush. Not a lot, but just enough to kind of push that right on in a little further. And now, oh, it's quiet. So you kind of get one last little tighten and everything is in here. Now, you notice that I didn't pull or tug my fabric. And that means that this has not been stretched, which is really what you want. Remember, your stabilizer is what you're embroidering on. Your embroidery will be as good as your stabilizer. So if you wimp out and only put one layer in here, well, things might not turn out as good. But strengths with layers, better results with extra layers of stabilizer. Trust me, I do not skimp when it comes to stabilizer. I don't have time to redo it. So when you're ready to go ahead and put your hoop on, all you need to do is just slide your fabric kind of underneath the foot. Notice I didn't tip or bend. I'm just going straight underneath. It will fit. The other thing is that we'll be able to slide into this little mouth. Let me slide that a little closer now. So you'll see that the little mouth, don't press down on this lever. Just push it in. Use force. It is okay. This machine can take it. And go until you hear the click. Click. Now, once it's clicked, it's in position. When you go to release it, that's the part you press down on, and then just pull towards you. Do not be afraid of this. I want you to use some good gorilla arms. You'll get more comfortable the more you do. So you can watch me push on, pull off, without any worry that this machine cannot take it. The other thing I want you to do is, where do you position this machine? Now, if you have this really close to the edge of the table, this arm right here is going to be hanging off the edge, maybe even the hoop during its embroidery process. I am sitting in a chair, watch this, that will spin. If that's too close to my hoop, when I get up to leave and go put in a load of laundry, for example, and I hit this machine with this chair, it is not a happy camper. So I would like you to just slide it, maybe not that far, but slide it past the edge of your table so there's nothing that can hit any part of the moving areas of this machine. Next, make sure you're not too close to the wall back here. That's another thing. You definitely want to make sure that you have clearance behind the machine. If your kitty likes to sit here, you're going to have to kick him out, because it too will hit him, and well, he's not going to be happy, and it might offset your embroidery. So clear the area. No coffee cups on this side. Maybe over there, but maybe not. But yes, make sure everything has a nice working field around the machine. So that's really what we're after. We've got embroidery thread on, an embroidery needle, we've got bobbin thread on, and next we're going to start to figure out how we picked our designs, and let's start embroidering.